Good afternoon and welcome to a blind talk with Blind Prime. Today I'm in the process of millsing up the corner garage from Lego Creator Expert. I've got corner garage over here. It's in the process of having all of its tiles removed, and I've been transferring all the tiles over to the new mills plate for it. This beautiful mills plate. I got a little chunk of it still missing because I got to find some green plates to put there, but this is the Mills plate for the city garage. And I've been spending a lot of time untiling and retiling because honestly, it's a step-by-step process. You've got to do it one little thing at a time, or else you're going to, as a blind person, I'm going to screw up if I'm not careful and ensure that I keep all of these pieces kind of together. I also, since I'm doing a Mills, went ahead and put a little hole in the plate itself so that when the car is up on the lift, the mechanics can get under it and actually work on it. So I went ahead and put a mechanics pit there, a grease pit, if you will. So I wanted to talk to you today about Gundam Requiem for Vengeance, the first Gundam show that I know of with English audio description. The first Gundam show with English audio description. It's been a long time coming. We've been wanting English audio for anime for a long time. At least I have. I've been begging for it. As a person who grew up watching One Piece, I've been following it since 2000. I am quite irate that I am not able to watch the rest of my One Piece. I'm stuck on episode 587, or no, 602, because that's when I went blind and couldn't watch One Piece anymore. So I don't know what's going on. I've got a lot of episodes to catch up on, and I'm waiting on them to be audio described so I can. And it feels like it's taking forever, even though there's resources available that these companies could use. For instance, ChatGPT. You hear about all these deepfakes with the politicians and famous people and stuff, and yet nobody has done any of this stuff for audio description. Nobody's utilized any of these machines or this learning AI technology to create audio description for these shows, for anything. And it is quite annoying that I'm sitting here going, why isn't there a YouTube channel that somebody's done this? I wish I could do it, but not being able to see means I don't know what to even type out to describe in that. So, anyone with any ideas, that'd be awesome. But what I'm trying to get across here is they put Japanese audio description to some of these things. And Netflix has the first 3 Gundam movies, but guess what? They're not even in English. I know. I've have the entirety of Gundam in English, but for some unknown reason, they didn't put it in English. It's in Japanese. And yes, your accessibility software will read you the subtitles for these particular movies. But if you're like me and that voice rules your entire life, you don't want to hear it describing you an entire anime. It's just not gonna. It's not copacetic. It's not good. And the fact that the anime itself isn't in English, it hurts me. And yeah, there's all those people out there that talk about anime and how it should always stay in the Japanese side. And to you, I say, you're a GD ableist because you don't want us, the blind or other disabled people who have problems reading subtitles, to enjoy the anime. And don't you think that's kind of an elitist behavior? You can only enjoy anime if you can see the subtitles well enough to enjoy anime. That's an elitist attitude right there. And anime's not about elitism. Anime's about inclusivity. Anime's about equality. You watch anime to enjoy things. You watch anime to experience a different culture's ideas and situations. I particularly believe that Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 is one of the best anime ever released when it comes to warfare, because it was the anime that me as a what was I was like 13, when I was watching that anime at 13 or 14, I was an individual who thought war was cool. I read a lot of war stuff. I thought war was neat. I thought it was awesome. I finished watching Gundam. I didn't think that anymore. I didn't think that at all. I thought war was scary. I thought war was terrifying. I realized that there are no winners in war, and there's nobody good in war, and there's nobody who's bad in war. War is chaos. And that's what Gundam teaches you. There's sides to everything in war, and anybody who steps back and actually thinks during a time of war are usually the people that everybody yells at, because it's war, it's chaos, and nobody's really thinking about the future there. And that's that's what Gundam's about. It's showing you these people who are trying to get by in this situation. But I'm not here to critique Gundam the original show. I'm just here to ask that Gundam the original show gets some English audio description so that more individuals can witness that masterpiece of animation and storytelling. The masterpiece of Gundam needs to be experienced by the world. So that's why I'm very happy that they finally got around to English audio describing something. You know, they didn't even do that for the, or maybe they did. I can't remember if they did it or not for the other Netflix exclusive Gundam show, but I think that only had Japanese audio description. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I don't mind. But if I'm wrong, let me know. Anyway, this has English audio description. And so for all of you out there who are completely blind, who've always been blind, and who don't know anything about Gundam, and you find this show and you're like, oh, audio description. I love me some audio description. I'm going to watch this. Here is something so that you can understand, because it does not give you any type of world building or anything to let you know what's actually going on. You're just following these characters, and they run with the story assuming that you know what's going on. And me, as a person that followed Gundam for years, I knew exactly what was going on. Okay, even though it didn't describe to me what mobile suits they were using in the first episode, and they didn't describe to me Federation forces or Zeon forces, they were just soldiers fighting soldiers, which I'm a little annoyed that they didn't do that off the bat, because anybody with vision could have easily seen that one group of people are wearing blue uniforms, and the other group of people are wearing green uniforms. But they did their best. I would have just liked to have had the describer green uniform person or blue uniform person to let me know, as a Gundam fan, exactly who's Federation and who's Zeon there. And if you don't know, the green is Zeon, the blue is Federation. The Federation forces at the beginning of that are getting attacked by Zeonic forces, and I'm letting you know this because the audio description really fails you in that first battle. Okay, so the Federation forces are sitting at a base, and the Zeonic forces are coming to retake that base because they had lost it earlier. We are starting, this thing starts in November. This means the war's almost over. The war ends at the end of December, okay? We're in the 11th month of the 1-year war. And in the 11th month of the 1-year war is when the GMs started getting introduced. And the Gundam started really wreaking havoc on the Zeonic forces in Eastern Europe and Western Asia area. That is where Operation Odessa takes place. Operation Odessa isn't covered in this, and I'm honestly a little upset by that, because I, as a Gundam fan, have always wanted a series to cover Operation Odessa. I know that was just like a battle that lasted for a day, but that was a major offensive that took months of planning. That was a big thing. They talked about it a lot in the anime. And Operation Odessa was the turning point for the Federation forces and the Zeons when it came to Earth. The Federation forces, after Operation Odessa, managed to kick Zeon off of Earth. Will start the process. It wasn't until Jabiru that they managed to finally get them the rest of the way off Earth. And that was where the encounters in space comes into play. But if you want to know timeline-wise, this is taking place between Encounters in Space and Soldiers of Sorrow, if you're going for the Gundam movies. The end of Soldiers for Sorrow and the beginning of Encounters in Space is kind of the timeline that we're looking at here for the Requiem for Vengeance. And Requiem for Vengeance is following a Zaku team, a six mobile suit squad Zaku team, the Wolf Squadron or something like that. We don't really know much about them. It doesn't seem like they have any crazy awesome. They just have Zaku 2s, it seems. Though I am a little upset in that the audio description failed me there. They didn't say what type of Zaku it was. There are other Zaku's audio description people. There's the Zaku 1 and the Zaku 2, and then there's the Zaku 2C and the Zaku 2D and the Zaku 2E and the Zaku 2F and the Zaku 2G. So there's other Zakus that you could have brought up. They did mention Zaku tanks, and I love me a Zaku tank. Zaku tanks don't get enough love, and that's awesome. So I love the fact that there was a Zaku tank in the anime in that first episode. It was amazing, and I loved it. Uh, I still don't know if that was the white mobile suit that they were fighting in Requiem for Vengeance. It never described the mobile suit really well. It never described it well enough for me to figure it out. I know just about every mobile suit that was fighting in that war, unless this is a brand new mobile suit made up for this, and they didn't give us the name of that kid that was the pilot. I would have really appreciated the name of that pilot. I really would have appreciated that. I don't, I, I don't know, like there wasn't enough describers to let me know anything world building wise. Like I understood the story. There was enough for me to understand the story and what was going on. And that's why I loved it. I watched it all in one sitting, and it was a good anime. It was a good representation of Zeonic forces on Earth and how they were, and how they were, and it, just the war of it all. It was good. It was really good, and it represented the 1 year war very well, in my opinion. There were instances where everything was normal, and then boom, people were dying left and right because explosions and war. I found that in the first episode, the Federation forces are just kind of hanging out and chatting with one another, and then boom, they just start dying. There's explosions, and mid sentence, one guy perishes, and you're like, whoa. Oh, right. Yeah, this is a Gundam show. There's going to be death. There's going to be warfare, because that's what this is all about. It's kind of teaching you war has some cool machines in it, but war is not cool. And that's kind of the impression you get from this. It's good. It's good. I loved it. I managed to get through it in one night, and honestly, I highly recommend it. And I really want your help. And this is my ask of you. We're going to do a mission statement, or what is, I don't know what the correct term is for what I'm about to do, but contact people, contact Funimation, request for more audio description in anime, for English audio description in anime specifically, because there are individuals out there like me who were once anime fans and who would love to still be anime fans. It's just that we're being overlooked. Look at that fun new anime, the Digital Circus thing. No audio description there. And that's sad, because that's brand new. And that should have audio description. And there should be a law forcing these companies that make media to make audio description. Like, I don't know if there's a law forcing them to put subtitles, but they put enough subtitles in there that I assume there's got to be a law. So if we can't convince these companies to create audio description on their own merits, maybe it's about time we talk to our representatives and our Senate and our leadership about forcing these companies to fulfill ADA requirements and make equal media. Make media equal for everyone so that everyone can enjoy it. And that includes giving it English audio description, because I would love to talk about, I would love to watch more Gundam stuff. I really would, because Gundam was my life. And I would love to rewatch some Transformers stuff, because Transformers is amazing. And I would really love to watch any of these JLA movies that keep being produced, these American movies that keep being made on HBO Max that have no audio description. There's no audio description for these stupid things. So I don't know about, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the movie. It sounds cool as a JLA. I'd love to watch it because I'm a fan of JLA, but there's no audio description. So how can Young Justice have audio description, but JLA not, when it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's madness. This audio description has become chaos, and we may need our leadership to step in and start regulating some things, because they're not doing it on their own. And that's sad. I really wish they would think about us, the blind. But they're not. So that's my ask of you. And that was one of the reasons I even created this channel, was to raise awareness for the blind, so that we would stop being overlooked. And with these new shows coming out that don't have audio description, we are being overlooked. No one's thinking about the blind. And maybe we need to change that. Actually, no, there's no maybe about it. We need to change that. We need to get in their faces. We need to remind them that the blind exist and they need to consider us when producing media. Do you know that Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are available on Disney Plus without audio description? Look it up yourself. How messed up is that? I think that is actually no. I'm going to curse right now, and forgive me ahead of time, but that's fucked up. Perfectly in Deadpool's opinion, I believe. Deadpool would consider that fucked up. So I consider that fucked up. So help me fix these fuck ups that these multi-billion-dollar industries are doing. They got the money. And don't let them lie to you and say they don't, because they do have the money to do this. They just don't have the inclination. Let's give them that inclination. Let's light a fire under their asses. Thanks for watching.